Hello and welcome to episode 21. Oh, we're getting through these. So in the last episode, we did this. We set up red and green science. We also put lights on everything, right? Yes, everything has lights. Everything has lights. Almost everything has lights. Okay, everything that's important, right? Like who cares about stone brick? We don't need stone brick yet. Okay, in this episode we are going to be using stone brick to make walls. Okay. So let's get we're going to be making military science. Enough joking around. Let's get down to it. So what do we need for military science? So let's set our parameters too. We got a roboport. We'll need to be within this section, and we have power poles here. So this is our section. This is our crafting area. This one is much wider. Yeah, okay, it's not that much weight. Certainly more room than we had over here because we were squeezing this right into sulfur. And by the way, I did kind of take a look at what I did. I did intentionally have this entire build shifted over by one. That would have prevented us from having to underground here. But you know what? We worked around it. We're good. So what do we need for military science? As we know from when we hand fed it, we need red ammo, we need grenades, and we need wall. So we need what do we say, grenades, we need red ammo, and red ammo needs yellow ammo, so let's get yellow ammo going. And we need, what do we say, walls. Okay, so what's the ratios? So military science conveniently lines up with red science and pretty close to green science. We need, so we're gonna need 10 of these, 0.15 because we are aiming for the 1.5. So let's get 4, 6, 8, 10, and we're gonna shift all of this stuff around. So what do we need for grenades? So if we have 10 grenades, we have so we have 0.07 grenades per second requirements. How many do we need, or how many do we make? We make 0.09. So 0.09 times 10 is 0.90. We're gonna need less than that. So if we made, what is the math? We need 0.07 per second. So we're gonna need 8. 0.09 times 8 brings us to 0.72. We need 0.7. So that's gonna be perfect. So we need 8. 4, 6, 8 grenades. And we need 0.7 red ammo. So how do we get to 0.7? We need 3 of these to get to 0.75, and that means we need 0.75 yellow ammo. Aha, perfect. 0.75. So one of these will feed 3 of these. 3 of these feed 10 of these, and 8 of these feed 10 of these. So what about the wall? 0.15 per second, so we need 1.5 per second for the wall. 1.5 per second for the wall. So how about that? And that needs stone brick. So this is our ratios. It's only, I don't necessarily deal with ratios that often. Like you'll see in a lot of the later builds, it's like I don't really care that much about the ratios. I just slap down a bunch of stuff. You know, if you're capable of making more. No, that's not 100% true. It's, you know, we'll look at like how much can a full belt take, or funny enough, the walls, the 7.5 stone brick needed, that's half a belt of yellow or a full belt of stone, because the stone bricks smelt at half the speed. So, or sorry, 2 stone per 1 stone brick. So I never even put that together. So let's get rid of some of this stuff on the bottom and figure out what materials we need in. So I need a combinator. Let's do a clear combinator, and I'll just put a couple of these down. Yep, a couple. So we need stone brick for sure. So let's set that to the side. So this one needs iron. This needs copper, so we need iron. And we're gonna need copper. We need steel. And that is it for this. So for this one, we need iron. So we have over here. So maybe we can feed these two together because this is 3 per second. These need 8, like 4 per second. What else do we need? We need coal. So maybe we can feed. We can bring in. Here, let's move some of this stuff around. So let me get rid of this and put this here. To make this thinner, let's just move the walls up here for now. And we're just gonna move it to the side. Are we still lined up? We're still lined up. So let's just say it's gonna go there. We don't know for sure yet. We can move these out. And move these out. So I guess worst case scenario. So what I would like to do is I would like to have, if possible, the materials coming in and down and then on. So let's just take a look at this. So we want these coming out probably here. And then this can bring something in like this. Right? Any of these. We're gonna have 3 ingredients. So this is gonna have to feed 3 ingredients. So what if we had one of the ingredients? What if we had grenades coming out here? Oops. Or we could have grenades coming out here. So if the grenades went on the outside here, they would be on the this side. And then these could insert onto this side. So we can have the grenades and the science on the same belt, and then we can put an inserter down and say filter military science to the left, and then the grenades will stop here. Let's see if this will work out. No, well, the grenades need, no, that's not gonna work. The grenades need stuff coming in. So unfortunately these are gonna have to, this is just gonna have to work out like this. Or we could have stuff coming in. Let's just take a look at this. We could have stuff coming in, and then the grenades could do the same thing and do a long hand inserter out. I don't know if this is what we're gonna do, but now we've got a lot to squeeze in here. So let's just say the stone brick comes in here. So this guy is gonna be, I don't know, say up here. If he has stone brick feeding in, he needs to get out somewhere. So we've got a lot of stuff that needs to get out somewhere. If we have yellow coming up this way, oof. This is the belt that needs iron. Okay, so let's not do this. We'll just put the grenades on the same. I don't like doing this, having the outputs go over here with the inputs collecting off. You get the idea. But we need coal to come up at some point. Whoops. Let's say coal to come up at some point. We need iron to come up at some point in turn. So let's say that the coal and iron merge somewhere and then go to, let's not get mixed up and start And then the copper and the steel we can put on the same line, and we will need to have that feeding into this. So that has to come through either underground. Let's just map this out. So this comes in like this. These come in like here. These need an out feed and they need an in feed. So what if they... Now they're on the outside of this belt. And we need this feeding. That'll work. Like that. And then we can wrap this around and down. We still need to bring in, hold on. Let's cut here and let's move all this over. Let's say there. Can I have copper? Oh, that works because the stone brick is just going to bypass. What if we did that? And then these can be fed. No, let's match this up. These can be fed like this. And they will put out onto this belt. And then we have... This is madness. Did we do it? I think this is how this is gonna work out. This is not gonna work. We need this to be... That'll work. Stop. So this needed iron. So this is gonna get iron here and it's gonna put out here. These are gonna bring it in and then output on this belt on the outside. This is then gonna put that on this side of the belt. So we have red ammo at the top, stone walls at the bottom. These feed back around and this underground's over to here. They insert here. These need an input. Nope, this is not gonna work. Hold on, let's redo these. Let's at least match this. So I think that that should be fine. And then the output can go here. Whew. And this one, iron plates and coal coming in this belt. These are all good. Inserter into here, output onto this belt, and these will collect from there. And we like literally just squeezed this in. This could not... There's probably some other things that we could have done to make this tighter, but this is, yeah, this is what our build is going to look like. We just need to stamp it down and get some power poles. And that will be military science. Oh boy. We have been holding off on doing so many different... We have so much stuff that needs military science right now. Let's get that. Excuse me. Oh. No. That. Wow! This is not that hard. Pipette. Just pipette it. Alright, so now we just need to figure out power. Whoops, wrong direction. I remember whenever I started watching videos, I remember watching people do this, like stuff like this, and just like boom, 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 slam this out, and I'm like, wow, how do they like know? How do they do that? And now here I am doing it, and it's like, it's whatever. You get used to it after a while, right? You start to realize like the inserters, the direction that they're facing, like the two legs on the back side and the one leg towards the front. Yeah, it's just little things here and there. Okay, we need coal, so we don't have any coal coming down. Here we go. So let's bring the coal in, and I believe that does it for the coal, so we don't have to have anything else ahead of this. Again, just another one of those things that you eventually kind of start to get used to. This is the final coal. The only reason why we would need coal going past this is if for some reason we wanted to, I don't know, bring in a second oil build. Like, that's just not something that we're gonna do. All right, let's get stone is not stone. Let's get iron in here. Oh boy, this is oof. Let's not get iron in here because we are probably gonna have to do some funky stuff. This might not end up here. Maybe we can. Okay, we might have to do some funky stuff. So let's start on the left-hand side. Let's get some stone brick in before we do anything else because this is gonna be pretty tight. Stone brick is gonna be okay. This one won't be as bad. Go gadget stone brick. Coming out the top. There it goes. Okay, so stone brick's good. So we need copper and we need steel. So steel. Oh geez. And sometimes you wonder, like, how do you get all this stuff in your inventory? Well, that's, you know, deleting belts and the like. Oh man, this is gonna be wild. Could I? No. We're not. No. Abort. We didn't need any of that. Let's do the bottom side. And then we need copper. Oof, I hope copper can come right through here. Oh boy, just barely. So we're trying to avoid doing this where we just insert and force like only the bottom side to come into here, but we kind of don't really have a choice at this point. Okay, so last thing that we need in is iron. I'm not even gonna try to pretend like we're gonna figure this out. So let's just assume that iron is gonna come in here. Okay, so oh boy, can we do some really funky maneuvering? See, this is the kind of the downside of the way that I'm doing it, but I you know what, I still prefer to do it this way. This is just the way that I'm gonna do things. We don't need that much iron. Can I squeeze this in? Do the same thing that I did with the copper here. Which side is that going to be on? That side? So this should... That should work. Wow. That's some janky stuff. And then... You know, I guess worst case scenario, like, check this out. Like, really worst case scenario, you know you're not going to be doing a lot with fluids. so we could just have always done something like this. Our work in action, yes, everything is coming together finally. And now we just need to put some power in here and turn it all on. This guy is gonna be a problem. Okay, so that's good for that side. This one's gonna need something there, so let's just do it at the bottom here and there. Why is this not getting power? And we'll just match it on the other side for this. And we'll just match it on the other side for this as well. There. Are we good? Lights. We need some lights. The most random light placement ever. We can get some uniformity down here though, so that's okay. Yeah, okay. Just as I really, like, I just had to open my mouth, didn't I? And we are producing. What are you missing? Everything. Push in some of the red ammo just to kind of get things going. And then what else? Grenades. Grenades are coming in. Grenades are all functioning. All the machines are functioning. These machines, like, this is so neat. I know it's just a rotating graphic, but I mean, it's still pretty neat. All the mechanical pieces. Okay. Last thing we need to do is make a buffer. We are going to be buffering every single science. We only need to buffer one side, so and we don't need to filter it. So we're only going to do this side because we are aiming for about 6,000 per. So let's copy one of these up there and paste here. Double check your work. Always double check your work. And then that needs a power pole. Awesome. Ooh, okay. So that is going to be it for this episode, and in the next episode, ooh yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Let's prep a little bit for next episode. So in the next episode, we need so the couple, like, usually I'll make like 40 research labs. We're gonna be making 60. We might not be able to feed them all 100% of the time, but like check this out. So this is something that I haven't necessarily mentioned. So this is the time needed to research one unit in the lab. That's research time to research one of these. This number goes up, so we need 50 of these, each of these, and each of these will learn over 15 seconds. That's kind of how the stuff works. Supposedly, like, I feel like there's a different. I feel like things learn, like, research slower. Sorry, in the DLC. But once you get to the later stuff, like, they're all 60 seconds and thousands. So, like, this is 60 seconds, this is 30 seconds, whatever. So there are some that are lower. But then you get into these infinite researches, and they're all, I believe they are all 60 seconds each. So sure, you might have some here and there, and then the lower end, like, you're gonna have, or some of the military stuff. Like, this is 60 seconds, 15 seconds. So you're gonna have stuff on the lower end, so some things will craft slower or faster. But for the most part, the longer the crafting time, the more labs you can kind of daisy chain together. So we're fine with daisy chaining things together. You will see what I mean in the next episode. So we need some labs. We're going to need at least all 10 of those. We're going to drop this down from 40 to 20 so that we can just come back in a second and then just, that'll be all the labs that we make. So once we get the 20 out of that, we're cutting this guy off. We need some belts, definitely. We need a lot of splitters. Lots of splitters, lots of undergrounds. We're just going to take all of them. We have a lot of stone. Get rid of that with the whatchamacallit. We need a lot of blue inserters. We need a lot of long hand inserters. I don't know if we need 122. We need 100. Let's say 100. I guess in theory it would be better. Like ideally it would be better if we were using these. Do I want to use these right now? I think I do. I think we're ready. We're going to use these for research. So I'm going to put some of the blue back. And yep, we need more of those. Research labs. Okay, this guy's getting cut off. No more, nope. No more research labs. If you wanted, you could just put something else here, but just remember, those were the research labs back in the day. We have 61. Ugh, I didn't get to it in time. And okay, we'll come back for that. Anyways, power poles. I don't remember how many we're gonna need. We're gonna need lots of power poles. We're gonna need lots of inserters. We're gonna need lots of belts, undergrounds, splitters. Okay, so research labs in the next episode. Yeah, and it's gonna be epic. Lots of belt weaving, but just one color belt. It'll all make sense. You'll see. Okay, so on that note, I will see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.